Hi friends, today we are going to see one interesting challenge. So I've just taken one hard problem. Okay, so this is a hard problem from Leetcode, and let's try to solve this problem. Okay, so this SQL interview question is, the SQL question is, no, basically they have given one trip data. So the table which contain trips, like here they have given ID is the primary key for each trip, and who is the client, who is the driver, right, their respective IDs, and city ID and status. So the status value they have is completed, cancelled by driver or cancelled by client. Yeah, they can both can cancel, or it is completed successfully. And request, that is the date when the trip happened. And the second table is users table and the user ID table. So user ID is the primary key. The table holds for all the users. So basically it holds for the driver and client and partner. So everyone's data it holds. And band flag is yes or no. Okay, so the objective of this question is to find the cancellation rate. So the cancellation rate is computed by dividing the number of cancelled by client or driver request with unbanned users by the total number of requests with unbanned users. So basically they are asking us to ignore the unbanned users, the users which are whose status is in banned status. We should ignore. Okay, we should only consider the unbanned people. Okay, and basically the total cancelled divided by total request, that is what we need to find out, and they are asking us to put it to 2 decimal points round off the results, the cancellation rate. Okay, so let's start solving this problem. Let's write a query, and this query, okay, I'm going to first start joining the user table from, we need from trips, I'll call it as a T, and then we need to join with users table. I'll call this as a UC because this table we need to join. We can join with the client ID. If I join with client, then it is a client, right? It's not the user, it's a client. And if I have to join the driver ID with the user ID, because user ID is the common table for both of them. So I'm going to join only with the client ID. So let's join with client ID, and then on the client ID, so the client ID, T dot client ID is equal to UC dot user ID. Let me see whether is it user ID. Yeah, user's ID. Okay, user's ID. So the join has been established. Now the first thing what we need to do it is we need to only consider the unbanned users. So what I need to do, unbanned clients, the banned status is equal to no, right? So we should only consider the unbanned for this calculation. So now what all things that we need? So they are asking us to, the expected output is, what is the expected output? Let's see. Okay, so this is one example they have given, and the expected output. So now they have given input table also. Input table has data like this. This is the first trip made by client 1, driver ID 10, city ID 1, and the status is completed. And this is the date. And they also have, there are some records cancelled by driver as well as cancelled by client. Okay, and the user table has both client and driver role. Okay, and the banned status for one of the user is yes, so we need to ignore that user. Okay, so the expected output is day wise. They are asking us to show the, cancellation rate. Cancellation rate is nothing but the total number of cancellation happened in the day divided by the total request. Okay, wherein we need to ignore the banned user. So now I ignore the banned client because I have joined with the client. So let me also join one more table. Okay, so where I need to ignore the banned driver. Okay, so for that I need to join the same table with the driver ID, right? Driver ID, trips driver ID is equal to UD. because user is a driver table, users client table. So I've just used the table alias. Okay, so now what we need to do, we also need to do include only the unbanned drivers. Banned is no. Okay, UD also banned. So now this is going to give us all the trips where both client and drivers are not banned. Okay, so they are valid uh, people. So here what they are asking us to group by and find the average, right, cancellation rate we need to find. So for that I need to first put the date. What is the date? Requested at, right? So requested at, request at, okay, date. And what I need to do, I need to find the formula. Formula is sum of the cancellation divided by sum of the total. Sum of the, so let me write a case statement. When status equal to completed, equal to, not equal to cancelled, right? Not equal to completed. We need to only take when not equal to completed means it is cancelled, right? Then 1, else 0, end. So what I am doing is I am computing. I am only calculating the total cancelled. So if the status is not equal to completed, then it is a cancel. So I'm counting it as 1. Okay. So now we are going to see get the total request. So count of 1 will give us the total request, right? So total request. And what is this name? Let's give one name. And this is cancelled trips. Okay, so we have got both cancelled trips and total trips. Let me call this as total trips. Okay, and now since we have used sum, I'm going to do the group by. Okay, so let me do the group by request at. Okay, so now I have finished. Let's first try out cancel trip and total trips. So now to get the average cancellation rate, what we should do, we should divide, right? So we should divide this one divided by count of 1. Okay, so count of 1. So this will give the cancellation rate. Okay, so let's see the result now. So what do we get? Okay, so I'm going to check the syntax once. Sum of case when say it is not equal to completed, then 1. Yeah, cancel trip, cancelled rate. So everything pretty much I've done. Now, so now what I need to do, I need to do one thing. Okay, so they are asking us to give the result in a numeric format. So if we divide integer by integer, so we will not get we will not get 0.3, we will get 0 or 1 only because of integer. So for conversion we need to do, first we need to convert, right? So I'm going to convert this into instead of 1.0, I'm going to say 1.0 or 0.0, because then only we will get a decimal number in the numerator, and denominator also, okay, integer if it is there, that's fine, but the end result will get a numeric number. And now we have to convert, they are asking us to convert it into 2 decimals, right? So now we need to add a decimal, convert decimal 10 comma 2, let me put 10 comma 2, and then let me close this convert function. Okay, so convert function is also closed. Now let's see the result, what result that we get. Okay, so I've selected Microsoft SQL Server because I have written a SQL Server code. So let's see what value we have got. So it's saying wrong code because we have selected few other information, because it is expecting only day and the cancellation rate, but whereas I have not renamed this to date. So let me make this as a date, right? Day. Yeah, they're asking this in day. Yeah, let's give the day. And let me remove these 2 columns because I think they are not expecting these 2 in the result set. So I've removed. Right now I'm returning only 2 columns. One is the request at, I'm calling it as a day. And let me expand so that you get to see the clear code. Okay, so now we'll see the clear code. So it's only having 2 result. One is And now what I've done, I have first case statement, I have just put not equal to completed, means I'm considering it as a cancellation. So I'm counting all cancellation in the denominator, in the numerator. Okay, and then I'm converting into 10 comma 2. Okay, 2 decimal that I'm doing, and then dividing it by count of 1. This is nothing but the total trips. Yeah, so the cancellation trips in the numerator and divided by the total trips, and then the end result that I'm converting into decimal 10 comma 2, because they are asking us to show it in 2 decimal. Let me execute this code to see whether we are getting the right answer. Yes, so we have got the right answer now. So the expected output is day cancelled rate 8 2013 1020 is 0.33, 0.00 and 0.5. So exactly now it is matching with the expected output. Okay, so I hope you guys able to follow how we can solve this challenge of cancel trip. Okay, so you can have a look at this Leetcode trips and user problem. It is classified as a hard problem. Yeah, it's a little complex, so we are able to solve this problem. So hopefully now you kind of, this helps you to understand with the approach that I have gone through. Okay, thank you so much. Please share in case if you want me to solve any of the Leetcode problem with this approach. I will try to solve it and post it as a separate video. Thank you.